The gods told him all their distress. Hearing their tale, the god of love pondered and spoke thus with a smile. I expect no good results for myself from hostility to Shambho. Suranha kahi nija bipati sabha suni manakinha bichara. Shambho birodhana kusala mohi bihasi kaheum asamara. However, I shall do your work, for the Vedas say benevolence is the highest virtue. The saints ever praise him who lays down his life in service of others. So saying, the god of love bowed his head to all and departed with his associates, the bough of flowers in hand. While leaving, Love thought within himself that hostility to Shiva would mean sure death to him. He then exhibited his power and brought the whole world under his sway. Then the god of love, who bears a fish for his emblem, betrayed his anger, and all the barriers imposed by the Vedas were swept away in a moment. The whole army of Viveka, discriminating knowledge, continence, religious vows, self-restraint of many kinds, fortitude, piety, spiritual wisdom, and the knowledge of qualified divinity, both with form and without form, morality, muttering of prayers, yoga, contemplative union with God, dispassion, and so on, fled in panic. Tadapi karaba mai kaju tumhara, shruti kaha parama dharama upakara. Parahita lagita jo dehi, samtata samta prasamsahitehi. Asakahi chale sabahi sirunai. Somanadhanusakara sahita sahai. Chalatamara asa hridaya bichara shiva birodha. Dhruva maruna hamara. Taba apana prabhu bistara. Nija basa kinha sakala samsara. Kopeo jabahi barichara ketu. Chana mahumite sakala shruti setu. Brahmacharya Brata samjamanana. Dhiraja dharma jnana vijnana. Sadachara japa yoga viraja. Sabhaya viveka katako sabubhaga. Viveka took to flight with his associates. His great warriors turned their back on the field of battle. They all went and hid themselves in mountain caves, in the form of sacred books at that time. There was commotion in the world, and everybody said, "My goodness, what is going to happen? What power will save us? Who is that superhuman being with two heads to conquer, whom the Lord of Rati, love, has lifted his bow and arrows in rage?" Footnote on Rati, the name of Love's wife. Back to the text. Bhagyo Bibiku Sahaya Sahita So Subhata Sumjauga Mahimure Sadaghramtha Parbata Kamdarani Mahujaitehi Avasara Dure Honi Haraka Karatara Korakavara Jagakara Bharupara Duimata Kehi Ratinata Jehi Kahu Kopi Karadhanu Sarudara. Whatever creatures existed in the world, whether animate or inanimate, and bearing masculine or feminine appellations, transgressed their natural bounds and were completely possessed by lust. Je sajiva jaga achara charanari purusha asanama te nija nija marajada taji bhaye sakala basakama. The minds of all were seized with lust. The boughs of trees bent low at the sight of creepers. Rivers in spate rushed to meet the ocean. Lakes and ponds united in love with one another. Where such was reported to be the case with the inanimate creation, who can relate the doings of sentient beings? Beasts that walk on land and birds traversing the air and water lost all sense of time and became victims of lust. The whole world was blinded with passion and agitated. The Chakravaka birds, ruddy geese, regarded neither day nor night. So footnote on ruddy geese. The red gander and goose are said to unite only during the daytime. They cannot meet at night even if there is no physical barrier between them. During the brief span of time referred to above, they ignored this natural bar and met even during the night. Back to the text. Gods, demons, human beings, kinnaras, a class of demigods, serpents, evil spirits, fiends, ghosts, and vampires. I have refrained from dwelling on the condition of these, knowing them to be eternal slaves of passion. Even siddhas, spiritual adepts, great sages who had no attraction for the world, and yogis, mystics, gave up their yoga, contemplative union with God, under the influence of lust. Sabake Hridaya Madana Abhilasha Lata Nihari Navahitaru Saka Nadi Ummagi Ambudhi Kahudai Samgama Karahi Talavatalai Jaha Asidasha Jaranhakai Barani Kokahi Sakai Sachitanakarani Pasupachi Nabajala Talachari Bhaye Kama Pasa Samaya Bishari Madana Amda Vyakula Sabaloka Nisidinu Nahi Avalokahi Koka Devadanu Janara Kimnara Byala Preta Bisacha Bhuta Bitala Inha Kaida Shana Kahil Pakhani Sada Kama Kechere Jani Siddha Birakta Mahamuni Jogi Tepi Kamabasa Baye Biyogi. Even great yogis and ascetics were completely possessed by lust, to say nothing of low-minded people. Those who till lately looked upon the animate and inanimate creation as full of Brahma, God, now saw it as full of the fair sex. Women perceived the whole world as full of men, while their latter beheld it as full of women. For nearly an hour this wonderful game of love lasted in the universe. Bhaye Kamabasa Jogisa Tapasya Pavarani Ki Kokahai Dekhahi Chara Chara Narimaya Je Brahmamaya Dekhatarahe Abala Bilokahi Purusamaya Jagu Purushat Saba Abalamayam Doidamda Bhari Brahmamda Bhitara Kama Krata Kautuka Ayam Dharina Kahudira Sabake Mana Sijahari Jera Kera Gubira Te Ubare Te Hikalamahu. Whoops. I just read the wrong last two lines. It was meant to finish with a Katoka ayam. Nobody could remain self-possessed. The hearts of all were stolen by the god of love. They alone could hold their own against him, to whom the hero of Raghu's race extended his protection. Darina kahudira sabake mana manasija hare. Jera khera gubira te ubare tehi kala mahu. The wonder lasted for an hour or so, till the god of love reached Shambho. Cupid trembled at the sight of Shiva. The whole universe returned to itself. All living beings regained their peace of mind at once. Even as the intoxicated feel relieved when their spell of drunkenness is over, the god of love was struck with terror at the sight of Bhagavan Rudra Shiva, who is so difficult to conquer and so hard to comprehend. He felt shy in retreating and was incapable of doing anything. Ultimately, he resolved upon death and devised a plan. He forthwith manifested a lovely spring, the king of all seasons, rows of young trees laden with flowers, appearing so charming, woods and groves, wells and ponds, and all the quarters of heaven assumed a most delightful aspect. Everywhere nature overflowed with love, as it were. The sight aroused passion even in dead souls. Ubhayaghari asa kotutka bhayo jolagi kamus shambho pahi gayo shivahi biloki sasam keumaru bhayo jatha ti sabu samsaru bhaye Turata saba jiva sukhare jimi mada utari gaye matavare rudra hideki madana bayamana Duradarasha Durgama Bhagavana Pirata Laja Kachu Karinahi Jai Maranuttanhi Manarachesi Upai Pragatesi Turata Ruchira Rituraja Kusumita Navataru Raji Viraja Bana Upapana Bapika Taraga Paramasubhaga Sabadisha Vibhaga Jahataha Janu Ummagata Anuraga Dekhi Mehumana manasija jaga. Passion was aroused even in dead souls, and the beauty of the forest beguiled description. A cool, gentle, and fragrant breeze fanned the fire of passion as a fruitful companion. Rows of lotuses blossomed in lakes, and swarms of bees hummed on them. Swans, cuckoos, and parrots uttered their sweet notes, while celestial damsels sang and danced. Jagai mano bhava muehu mana pana subhakatana paraikahi. Sitala sugamdha sumamda maruta madana anala sakasahi. Bikase saranhi bahu kamja gumjata pumja mamjula madhukara. Kalahamsa pika sukha sarava kari gana nachahi apachara.